Step number 4, analyzing deals. Hello, my name is Calvin Wong. Welcome to Cap Rate Jedi, where I'm going to show you from A to Z how to invest in commercial real estate like a pro. So today, I'm going to talk about analyzing deals. Step 3, which is the previous video, we talked about how to build a relationship with brokers and reach out to owners, cold calling the owners to try to get deals. This episode, we're going to talk about analyzing deals. So when you build a relationship, when you build a rapport with the seller or the listing brokers, the next step is to find out the financials. You want to request rent roll, financials, T12, the last 12 months of the cash flow and financials is what we call T12. And rent roll, you want to be able to look at who are the tenants and the rent structures, escalation schedules, things like that. So let's dive right in. Okay, this is an example. It's a multi-tenant strip centers. It is a 12,404 square feet, priced at 6.55 million at 6.5% cap rate. So the cap rate, you can see it as present moment, the cash on cash return. So if you were to pay 6.5 million cash, this is the first year return you're going to get on your investment. So this building is built on 2023 on a piece of land, 1.35 acres. Now let's dive right in. So this is the rent roll. You want to be able to look at each tenant when their lease starts and where are the lease escalation. This is very important because when you buy commercial properties, the value of the property is based on the cash flow. The higher the cash flow, the higher the value. You want to be able to see if you have opportunity to increase rent, if the tenant lease is up, whether the renewal is on a market rate or it's a cap of 2% increases. I personally like to see the tenant when their lease is up, their renewal option is at a market rate. So this will be the dental tenant, because if the market rate is much higher than what they're paying when they renew, you can enjoy that, huge increase, and that translates to higher valuation of your property. Now, in some instances, for example, this Mexican restaurant, they have annual increases, and then when their lease is up on 2028, they have 2 5-year renewal options, but they are capped at 2% increase. So what that means is this is $37 per square feet per year is the rent that they're paying on year 2027 to 2028. When they renew, you can only increase 2%. Versus if it is at market, let's say market is already at 10%, you can really adjust up to that 10%, which give you more cash flow. If you are thinking about selling at that time, you can capture a higher price. So pay attention on the rent roll, their annual rent increases, if any. Typical structure is about 3% annual increase because inflation right now is higher. Sometimes landlord wants 4% or even 5% annual increases. Another typical rent structure is increased 10% every 5 years, which is this salon tenant. So this is a 10-year lease, but in year 2029, year 6, it escalates at 10%. From $72,900 per year to $80,190 per year. So this is a fully leased property. Another thing that I liked about retail strip center is their triple net leases. What that means is the tenant reimburse the operating expense, the property tax, the property insurance, the CAM charges. CAM means common area maintenance, CAM, and then management fee. You can, depending on your lease, you can roll in those fees as part of triple net so that the tenant reimburse you. So the base rent total is $427,543, and the tenant reimburse you the property tax, insurance, CAM, management fees. The reason why you would want to make sure it's a triple net lease is for your own benefit, because the fluctuation, we all know real estate taxes, real estate insurance, and all the expenses goes up every year. And because they are triple net lease, it's going to all pass through to the tenant and you get reimbursed. So your net income stay protected. It's not like it's going to eat in your net income. For example, like if you have a single family rental, right? Your rent has to cover those taxes and expenses. If you have a year that those expenses jump super high and your rent didn't go as much as high, so if you have a 10% increase in expenses, but only 5% increase in your rent, so those 5% difference can eat in your cash flow. But with this triple net lease, it's passed through. Again, depending on the lease, the language, most of the time, they're all passed through to the tenant and your net income kind of stay protected. So in this situation, if you look at the base rent, it's equal to the net operating income. It's very important to understand the net operating income because NOI, because that's what you use to calculate your cap rate and then your exit sales price. So this is the high level financial discussion on analyzing the deals, because if we were to dive in deeper, it's really a longer video, which I may do another video, just kind of talked about a real example on how I evaluate at a retail strip centers. So there you go. Ask for the rent roll, ask for the financials, really looked at it and see how, if there's an opportunity that you can increase the rent down the road, because when you increase the rent, you increase the value of the property. That's all. Stay tuned for the next episode where I'm going to talk about checking out the properties, drive-by, things like that. It'll be a fun episode. But thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and make comments on the things that you would like to learn about commercial real estate. I'll make sure I'll make some videos out of it. Thank you.